We've got the Audi S4.
Big shout out to Audi downtown Vancouver for giving us this car for a couple of days. We do appreciate it. Ooh, it's fun. It sounds good.
Dynamic mode is good.
There's some piped in sound, but it also, there's some sound on the outside too. This is the S4, the higher performance A4. What's under the hood of this thing?
A 3-liter turbocharged V6 with an 8-speed automatic transmission, 349 horsepower, and 369 pound-feet of torque, standard all-wheel drive.
So in the US, they have multiple trims. In Canada, just one trim. Now. That's crazy, right? Let's get into it. What do you get? What are the key standard features?
The 2023 model comes with a 10-inch touchscreen, wireless Apple Carplay and Android Auto, MMI Navigation Plus, Audi Virtual Cockpit Plus, heated steering wheel, heated front sport seats, driver's seat memory, Nappa Leather seating surfaces with diamond stitching, a Bang Olufsen 3D sound system, and a sunroof. In the US, there are 3 trims, as we mentioned. The base model has a lower starting price point, so it doesn't come with all the features we have in Canada, including the Bang & Olufsen sound system and Audi's virtual cockpit.
So usually I say, what are we going to put it in? And Andrea says, put it in S. But we're in S. We're in S4. So, but we'll still go through the shtick. Andrea, what are we going to put it in?
Put it in S for subscribe. Do us a favor.
And if you can hit that notification bell, that'd be great.
You'll be notified.
Now we're all out of whack.
Well, we just messed the whole thing up.
Okay,
Let's
just keep
do
going.
it again.
Okay.
Let's do it again. Put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our videos drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the couple car review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So make sure to like and subscribe, but also follow on Instagram to get a look at what's going on behind the scenes. It's Motormouth_Andrea. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below the like button. This video is brought to you by Canada Drives. Shop online for your next used vehicle and enjoy the convenience of to-your-door delivery and the confidence of a 7-day love it or return it guarantee. Visit canadadrives.ca to learn more.
When you kick it, this thing goes in dynamic mode. Everything just gets a little bit firmer and a little bit more fun.
I find auto is really good. We've owned an Audi, and every Audi I drive, I put it in auto. It does a very good job of figuring out what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Like it knows Andrea's a hooligan, so it firms everything up. For me, I just sit back and enjoy my questions, coffee, and cars. But anyway, it's an adaptive system, and that's great. But it doesn't really ever give up its true Audi comfort.
This comes with sport differential and S adaptive damping suspension, as well as dynamic steering. But you've got to pay extra for those. They're in packages. We've got that addition to our test model, and I think it makes a difference.
Listen, it depends whether you just like the idea of having a performance sedan or you want to have a little bit more performance.
Yeah,
and if
I want a little more performance.
You want a little more performance.
Yes.
Okay, so the A4 is not for you.
No.
You know what I like is, okay, before we get into the looks and all that, this is part of the A4 family.
Yeah.
So the A4 family is the regular A4, the S4, also the all-road.
Yeah.
That's the one I like. And then you have the A5 and the A5 Sportback, all based on the same platform, and they're all excellent cars.
Yeah.
We had an Audi A7. We actually bought it at Audi downtown Vancouver. We had it for over 4 years, and we loved it. And every time you get back in an Audi, it's very comfortable for us.
Yeah.
But you look particularly comfortable in this, and that's a key word, comfort, right?
Yeah, I mean, on the highway, this thing not only has the power that you need when you need to pass and accelerate hard, but it's so smooth and comfortable. I can see this being such a great daily driver, and it will appeal to the masses with the light steering in here.
And then you add in all the creature comforts on the inside, which we'll do in a second. But, you know, it's interesting that the Gateway used to be the compact premium sedan to a luxury brand. So it was the 3 Series, it was the C-Class, it was the A4. Those were the gateway drugs. Now it's all the smaller SUVs, like the GLA and the X1.
Q3.
But this used to be the car you got if you were a somebody and you could afford the S version.
Yeah, and I can see that. You get that sportier look with the S4. Some S details include S bumpers, the quad exhaust pipes, a lowered suspension, and the rear spoiler in the back. All of these ups the sportiness compared to the A4.
It's sportier, but a lot of people might say, you know, Audi isn't really taking any chances with the design. It's a slightly sportier version of a conservative car. Hey, we get that. This particular one has the dark satin grille and the dark window surrounds with the black paint. Looks mischievous.
Yeah, you can even take it a step further and get the Audi rings in black. Some people find that the exterior design is kind of boring, and like Zach says, Audi doesn't take chances, but there's another way to look at it as well. It's simplistic and it stands the test of time. You can see an A4 or an S4 around and you don't really know what year it is.
You go back to those 90s A4s and you look at them today, they don't look horribly dated. They still look, you can still see the essence of the brand. They have stood the test of time.
Now in Canada, with our only one trim, it comes loaded, and you can see that with the exterior. We've got the LED matrix design lights, 19-inch wheels and performance tires, and then we've got the addition of the red brake calipers as well. In the US, you've got 3 trims, so that base and middle trim don't come with the LED matrix lights. You get it on the top trim just like in Canada.
And then you turn your attention to the inside. This is a very comfortable car. We talked about that already, but they forced in some new technology to an older platform. This car is kind of getting to the end of its run. So the tablet stuck on the dash is very functional and close at hand, but it does kind of look like it's an afterthought.
I'd really love to see the integrated touchscreen that's in the A3 or even in the Q7 that you see. I think it's going to happen for the Q5 and is going to happen for this A4 and S4 for sure. It's a 10.1-inch touchscreen in here, and you get the 12.3-inch digital driver display. I think that the seats are very comfortable and the Nappa leather is beautiful. What do you think of the quilted stitching in here?
Well, you know, I always go on about quilted seats. I've kind of overdone, but I'm always that way with kind of brown quilted seats. Whenever I see an Audi with this sort of black and white motif, boy, it looks good.
The center console, love the traditional shifter in here. There's some storage compartments. I guess you can put your phone, maybe put some change in here.
I've got the key in there right now.
The key.
Well, that's where the old MMI controller used to be. That's the multimedia interface that Audi has abandoned and gone to just this touchscreen. That's why this screen is being retrofitted into this older platform, because they got rid of that controller, which I kind of miss, but this one's very close at hand and it's pretty easy to use.
There's plenty of space in the front row in this sedan. It's not best in class. It's the BMW 3 Series and the Alfa Romeo Giulia that offer more. Obviously, this trim is fully loaded, so we've got it all in here, from heated front seats, heated steering wheel, heated rear seats are extra along with the head-up display. And in Canada, there is no option of ventilated front seats for 2023 anymore.
That's odd they took that out. Could be a chip thing, who knows? I never use ventilated seats, so I'm happy.
And I would say in the US, the middle trim is the sweet spot. That's where you get the Bang Olufsen sound system, which is 750 watts. It's a 19-speaker stereo system. And you also get the 12.3-inch digital driver display, and it also opens you up to extra packages like the Black Optics Plus.
So here's me getting in the back seat. Keep in mind, this is in the compact class, so it's not the roomiest size of vehicle generally, but I would say the seats are comfortable and there is enough room for adults. The biggest in this class is actually the all-new C-Class, has more space than this.
The trunk is actually pretty good in size. It offers 12 cubic feet or 340 liters, and it's the BMW 3 Series that offers the most in this class.
We seem to have a lot of questions about how does this compare to the competition. Let's get into it.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Has Audi announced plans for a new A4 and S4 model lineup? Keep up the great reviews. Thank you. We did speak to the dealership about this, and the salesperson there thinks about a year and a half or so.
Yeah, it's not that hard to figure out. You just look at, when they bring the previous model out and then go forward about 7 years and you can figure it out. What we're not sure about is, what exactly it's going to power it, whether it's going to be gas, plug-in hybrid, battery, we're not sure.
Yeah, and the salesperson said that he has no idea which powertrain will be arriving, so we wait and see.
I would bet it's a plug-in.
Yeah,
a guess.
could be. Yes, the Audi S4 is nice. Does it compare equally with the M3 and C-Class AMG? I get the feeling the S4 is a bit more tailored to more comfort rather than pure raw performance.
Oh yeah, that is true.
You got that right.
Yeah, it's very comfortable. Even when you're pushing it hard, it never lets go of its Audi smooth, easy to drive nature.
Even the steering is so light. I mean, I am really surprised how light the steering is, which makes it quite nimble and easy to maneuver in and out of traffic. It competes more with the M340i rather than the M3. The M3 is just like, wow, off the charts, you know, dynamic, right?
Yeah, I would say, and one of the other questions that's coming up is Genesis. I think is probably a pretty good comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the M340 with that inline 6-cylinder has got this engine beat, but this is very comfortable every day. If you want comfort, this car's comfortable.
And then the C-Class AMG, we haven't driven it yet. We've driven the new C-Class, the 300. So we look forward to that. But one thing that we noticed about this new C-Class is it's very comfortable. It's
soft.
like Mercedes has changed that, right? Almost kind of targeting consumers who like that sort of drive.
Well, we'll have to drive the AMG version. They might stiffen it all up, but we'll have to wait and see.
We put out a lot of content each week on the Motormouth YouTube channel, and it's so easy to find.
All you do is go to the YouTube search bar and type in Motormouth, the name of the channel, then the brand you're looking for. In this case, it's Audi, and all of our recent videos pop up. It's that easy.
Do you think an RS4 will be available in Canada? Well, there's no RS3 in Canada. Audi decided not to bring it into this market, but it is available in the US. So
we hear that's an emissions thing. Why? Because Canada and the US are so integrated when it comes to standards for vehicles, whether it's emissions and those sorts of things. Why it would qualify in the US and not in Canada, we're not exactly sure. It's not coming, which is a shame. That means the old RS3 is going to be highly collectible. Haven't heard anything about an RS4. I doubt it, though.
I doubt it.
And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
How does this vehicle compare to the competition, like the Genesis G70, especially from a power perspective and features you get for the price? Can you hear that sound enhancing exhaust too?
I like
Snap,
it.
crackle, pop.
You know, so many people are against it being the fake sound piped into the car.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good right in my tummy. I like that.
good.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know, if it doesn't sound, it does kind of sound like that on the outside, but this is fun. You know what? I think that Genesis is actually probably a very good competitor for this car. You know, Genesis has come to market with a really well done car at a great price.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a red light, so I get to do it again. This is good. At a great price. Andrea didn't love it comfort-wise, did you?
No, I
Here we go
find
again.
that
Nice.
great. I didn't find it, I couldn't get comfortable, let's put it that way, in the front driver's seat. Passenger, no problem. I don't know if it's my legs are up too high or my leg to hip ratio. I don't know what it is. I adjusted the seats like you wouldn't believe.
I think your bum was too low in the car, and that's maybe what made it feel uncomfortable. You know what car, you know, it reminds me of it. They're not exactly the same, but a car that I love to drive was very comfortable, like supremely excellent suspension and very comfortable seats. You're going to be surprised by this one. The Alfa Romeo Giulia. I just thought that car was really excellent everyday car.
And gorgeous to boot. Getting back to the G70.
Oh, sorry, I got off topic.
He was excited about the Giulia. So the G70 sits much lower to the ground than the A4. So if you're interested in that vehicle, you definitely have to make sure you're okay with getting in and out. Price point, the S4 and then the 3.3T of the G70 are your best comparison. It offers more power than this, and it costs less. It starts at $55,500 Canadian, and it tops out fully loaded at around 60,000 Canadian. So you get a lot, but you know what you don't get in there? Digital driver display.
The other thing about horsepower is numbers are just numbers. That's all they are. It's the seat of your pants experience of driving the car. So don't look at that car and go, oh, it's got 365 horsepower, it's got more than this. It's all how it comes together.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do, is try the car and see for yourself. And we've kind of already touched on the 4 cars that we're talking about for your consideration. But here's all the numbers.
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the BMW M340i with a turbocharged 3-liter inline-6, 382 horsepower and a starting price just under $68,000.
The Genesis G70 with the 3.3-liter twin-turbo V6, 365 horsepower, and a starting price of $55,500.
The Alfa Romeo Giulia with a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, 280 horsepower, and a starting price of just over $56,000.
Here's our used car alternative from CanadaDrives.ca. We chose a 2018 Mercedes-Benz C-Class with just over 55,000 kilometers on the clock for $35,990. Click on the tab or the link in the description below to see more vehicles in this category from CanadaDrives.ca.
So there are 4 fun sedans for you to consider.
You probably want to know what this thing costs, the fuel economy, and more in our vital stats.
In Canada, the S4 starts at just under $65,000. And in the US, the base trim is just under $52,500. The top Prestige trim is just under $61,000 US.
Here's the fuel economy. 11.1 liters per 100 kilometers city, 8 liters highway. That's 21 miles per gallon city, 30 miles per gallon highway. The warranty is 4 years, 80,000 kilometers, or 50,000 miles. Lightning round. 2 things we like to see improved.
I like the simplistic design of the exterior with the black accents.
I love this car's general attitude. It's easy to live with.
I'd love to see an integrated touchscreen in this, maybe coming up with a redesign.
I can't wait to see what they come up with next.
With its simplistic exterior design and comfortable drive, this makes a great daily driver.
Thanks to Audi downtown Vancouver for lending us this S4 for a couple of days. We appreciate it.
This video is brought to you by Canada Drives. Shop online for your next used vehicle and enjoy the convenience of to-your-door delivery and the confidence of a 7-day love it or return it guarantee. Visit CanadaDrives.ca to learn more.